Hello. Today's topic is about protection of a woman from a Domestic Violence Act, which has been passed on the year 2005. And in this part of our video, we are going to discuss about only the salient features that a common individual as well as an RMP should know. What are the things has been described in this act. And here it won't be an entire detailing of an act, only the salient features or only the point of importance that an individual should know has been discussed. And here in the initial beginning, we are going to see about some definitions which has been framed by this act and followed by the words like domestic incident report, monetary facilities for the victims of these offences, and followed by what I mean by protection officer, what is his term, who shall appoint the protection officer, and what are his duties, functions, and followed by what is the role of a magistrate relating to this act, and what could be the maximum punishment he or she can award to the respondent, and those things have been discussed. And even one part of the act, it also includes a male child also to be included, and when even they have been a victim, they also been included in the part of the act, and the law is going to protect those male child also. Objective of this act is to provide a more effective protection of the rights of a woman that are being guaranteed under Constitution. Here, who are the victims of violence of any kind? It could be physical, verbal, sexual, economical, or otherwise emotional abuses that are occurring within the family, and followed by any other matters relating to that, it also included. And here, the part of the act is being passed only to protect a woman from any sort of violences at her family or at her home. And when and where an offense has been conducted, and it is a cognizable offense and a non-bailable offense. The words like cognizable is where the police officer, without getting a warrant from a magistrate, can arrest the person or the respondent who has caused the violence against the person. Part of this act, there have been some terminologies that have been defined by the act. And first and foremost is aggrieved person, child, domestic incident report, domestic relationship, and what is medical facility, and what is protection officer, and the last terminology is monetary relief. Here, a daughter-in-law could be subjected to any of the violences. Most commonly, daughter-in-laws have been subjected to more violence in part of relating to dowry, and it also includes where a woman has been physically or otherwise emotionally, verbally have been abused on a repetitive basis or on the routine basis, and where the role of a substance abuse as well as the following a high lifestyle practices can lead to these kind of violences at the home. And coming to the definition of aggrieved, definition is aggrieved person means any woman who is or has been in a domestic relationship with a respondent, or who alleged to have been subjected to any act of domestic violence by the respondent. இங்கே ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ரெஸ்பாண்டன்ற வார்த்தை என்ன? ரெஸ்பாண்டன்ற வார்த்தை வந்து அவங்க குடும்பத்தில் இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு அவங்களால துன்பம் ஏற்பட்டா, இல்லைன்னா தப்பு செய்யறவங்க, இல்லைன்னா அஃபண்டர் யார் இந்த டொமஸ்டிக் வயலன்ஸை ஏற்படுத்துறாங்களோ அவங்கெல்லாம் ரெஸ்பாண்டன்ட். அவங்க கூட இருக்கிற எனி உமன் அந்த வீட்டுக்குள்ள இருக்கிற எனி உமன், ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அண்ட் ஃபார்மோஸ்ட் எக்ஸாம்பிள் வில் பி த ஒய்ஃப் ஆஃப் அ பர்சன். இல்லை ஒய்ஃப் மட்டும் இல்லை, அவங்க குழந்தைங்களா இருக்கலாம், இல்லை இந்த ரெஸ்பாண்டோட மதராக இருக்கலாம், இல்லை அவங்களோட குழந்தைங்க, அதில் மேல் ஃபீமேல் 2 குழந்தைங்களும் இன்க்ளூட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. அதே மாதிரி விடோ ரிலேட்டிவ் ஆர் எனி அதர் உமன் ரெசைடிங் இன் த ஹவுஸ் ஹோல்ட். இவங்க எல்லாமே இந்த ரெஸ்பாண்டால வன்முறைக்கு உட்படுத்தப்பட்டா அவங்க எல்லாமே அக்ரீட் பர்சன். அது இல்லாமல் இந்த வேர்டு இஸ் சைல்டு. சைல்டு மீன்ஸ் எனி பர்சன் பிலோ ஏஜ் ஆஃப் 18 years ஆஃப் ஓல்டு. இங்கே சைல்டுக்கு டெஃபினேஷன் லெஸ் தான் 18 வயசுக்குள்ள இருக்கிற எல்லா குழந்தைங்களும் அந்த டொமஸ்டிக் ஸ்பேஸில் இல்லை அந்த ஹவுஸ் ஹோல்டில் இருக்கிறவங்க எல்லாருமே சைல்டு. அவங்களுக்கும் ஏற்பட்ட காயங்கள், அவங்களுக்கும் ஏற்பட்ட வன்முறைகளும் டொமஸ்டிக் வயலன்ஸ் ஆக்டில் அட்ரஸ் செய்யப்பட்டிருக்கு. அது இல்லாமல் இந்த வேர்ட்ஸ் லைக் எனி அடாப்டட், ஸ்டெப் ஆர் அ ஃபாஸ்டர் சில்ட்ரன். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அடாப்டட், அவங்க பயாலஜிக்கல் ஃபாதர் மதராக இல்லாமல் கூட இருக்கலாம், அவங்களால தத்தெடுக்கப்பட்ட குழந்தை. இல்லைன்னா ஸ்டெப் சைல்டுன்றது அவங்களுக்கு ஏற்பட்ட முன்னாடி ஏற்பட்ட திருமணத்தால் உருவான குழந்தைங்க. அவங்களும் அந்த வீட்டில் இருந்தாங்க. இப்போ அப்பா வேற ஒரு கல்யாணம் பண்ணி முன்னாடி கல்யாணம் பண்ணதில் பிறந்த குழந்தைங்க அவங்க கூட இருக்கு. அப்பா 2வது திருமணம் பண்ணிக்கிட்டாங்க. இப்போ அந்த குழந்தைக்கு ஸ்டெப் சைல்டா, அதுக்குதான் மீனிங். இப்போ அந்த குழந்தைக்கு ஏற்படும் வன்முறைகளும் இந்த ஆக்ட்ல அட்ரஸ் செய்யப்பட்டிருக்கு. அது இல்லாமல் ஃபாஸ்டர் சில்ட்ரன் வித்தவுட் எனி லீகல் அடாப்ஷன். அடாப்டட்னா கம்ப்ளீட்டாக லீகல் ஃபார்மாலிட்டிஸ் எல்லாம் பண்ணி அந்த குழந்தைய தத்தெடுத்திருக்காங்க. ஃபாஸ்டர் சைல்டுன்னா இந்த ஒரு லீகல் ஃபார்மாலிட்டிஸும் பண்ணாமல், அந்த டாக்குமெண்ட்ஸ் ஒர்க் எதுவுமே பண்ணாமல் அந்த அடாப்ட் செய்யப்பட்ட குழந்தை தான், அந்த தத்தெடுக்கப்பட்ட குழந்தை தான் ஃபாஸ்டர் சில்ட்ரன். அப்புறம் டொமஸ்டிக் இன்சிடென்ட் ரிப்போர்ட். டொமஸ்டிக் இன்சிடென்ட் ரிப்போர்ட் மீன்ஸ் எனி ரிப்போர்ட் மேட் இன் அ prescribed form on the receipt of a complaint of the domestic violence from a aggrieved person. அவங்களால சப்மிட் செய்யப்படும் இல்லைன்னா அவங்களால தரப்படும் புகார்கள் எல்லாமே டொமஸ்டிக் இன்சிடென்ட் ரிப்போர்ட்ல ப்ரொடக்ஷன் ஆஃபீஸர் என்ட்ரி போட்டு வச்சுக்குவாங்க. அதுக்கு தொடர்ந்து அவங்க நியரஸ்ட் போலீஸ் ஆஃபீஸர் இல்லை அந்த ஏரியாவில் எந்த போலீஸ் ஆஃபீஸ் ரீஜன் வருதோ அவங்களுக்கு அந்த கம்ப்ளைண்ட்டை ஃபார்வர்ட் செய்வாங்க. ஃபார்வர்டு செஞ்சுட்டு அவங்க ஆக்ஷன் எடுக்கிறது எல்லாத்தையும் டொமஸ்டிக் இன்சிடென்ட் ரிப்போர்ட்ல டாக்குமெண்ட் பண்ணி வச்சிருப்பாங்க. அண்ட் கமிங் டு த வேர்ட் டொமஸ்டிக் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் between two persons who are living together or having at any point of time lived together in a shared household, or when they have been elected by consanguinity, marriage, or through any relationship in a nature of marriage, adoption, or any family members living together as a joint family. நம்ம முன்னாடி சொன்ன அதே எக்ஸ்பிளனேஷன் தான் அக்ரீடு பர்சனுக்கு என்னென்ன காரணங்கள் யார் யாரெல்லாம் சொன்னோமோ அந்த வார்த்தையை இன்னும் வேற ஒரு டெஃபினேஷன் போட்டு அந்த ரெஸ்பாண்டன்ட் கூட இருக்கிறவங்க எல்லாருக்கும் ஏற்படும் துன்பங்கள் அவங்க எல்லாமே டொமஸ்டிக் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப்ன்ற டெஃபினேஷன்ல எக்ஸ்பிளைன் செய்யப்பட்டிருக்காங்க. அடுத்த டெஃபினேஷன் மெடிக்கல் ஃபெசிலிட்டி. மெடிக்கல் ஃபெசிலிட்டி means any such facility that have been notified may be notified by the state government to provide a medical care and or a facility for the purpose of act. Where இங்கே ப்ரொடெக்ஷன் ஆஃபீஸர் அவங்களுக்கு புகார் வருது, இந்த உமனா இல்லை இந்த வீட்டில் இருக்கவங்கள பாதிக்கப்பட்டிருக்காங்க, அவங்களுக்கு மெடிக்கல் அட்டென்ஷன் தேவைப்படுது. ப்ரொடெக்ஷன் ஆஃபீஸர் எதர் கவர்மெண்ட் இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன் ஆர் ஆன் நியர்பை பிரைவேட் இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன் can be ordered by the protection officer to look into or to provide a first aid or to provide a complete treatment for the aggrieved person. அப்புறம் அடுத்த terminology monetary relief. Monetary relief means any compensation which the magistrate may order the respondent to pay to the aggrieved person. இந்த காரணத்தால அவங்க சொல்றாங்க to meet the expenses incurred the loss suffered by the aggrieved person as a result of a domestic violence. இந்த இதுக்கு explanation அவ்வளவு தேவைப்படாதுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். The definition of a domestic violence: any act or any kind of omission or any kind of commission or that have been conducted by the respondent that causes harm, injuries or endangers the health of a person or the safety, life, limb, or on a well-being, whether mental or on a physical, of the aggrieved person, or tends to do so, and it also includes other abuses. And in other abuses, first and foremost, here physical abuse. In physical abuse, it could be any contact that causes an bodily pain, harm, or dangers the life of a person. And here it also includes any impairment of the health condition or on a development in a later point of time, and any such act that has been committed, those all have been termed as a physical violence. And here uh, any injury that has been resulted in, and most commonly where people been subjected to cruelty, where only by within a hand, most commonly, or even with any of the objects nearby, can be used as a weapon to inflict harm on the person. And coming to second such offenses or second such abuses are any sort of sexual abuses. Sexual abuses includes any contact of a sexual nature that could abuse or otherwise humiliates or degrades the person's modesty or the dignity of a woman. Here the victims could be right. Here the victims could be the children are more frequent, and followed by even the other people living in the domestic relationship. The third set of offenses, verbal and emotional abuses. It could be any act of insulting or any sort of humiliation, a name calling, or another insult with regard to the most common example, not having a child, and the second such example, not having a male child. Here, the repeated verbal abuse like yelling, screaming, or otherwise mocking, or otherwise a frequent negative criticism can lead to a emotional uh, disharmony in the family, as well as most commonly where an aggrieved woman pass into a phase of mental ill health. And the last, any sort of economical abuses. Economical abuses relating to the act of dowry or demanding money from the in-laws home. And here a respondent were continuously threat the woman or to gain or to produce the resources of finance for his business or is for his daily routine. And here where an agreed person at the extreme stages where she even commits a suicide or otherwise where an agreed person being forced to commit a suicide by the respondent and his relatives. And the other parts of the definition of the domestic violence are any sort of harassment, harms, injury, or endangering life of a person that causes or that being unlawful demand of any dowry or any other properties or any valuable security. And this clause C towards domestic violence, where effect of threatening the aggrieved person or any other related persons to the aggrieved person. Here it includes it mentioned in clause A and B. It means that causing harassment or causing a physical injury or causing a verbal abuse or causing an emotional abuse even on the relatives of the aggrieved person constitute a domestic violence. Under clause D, towards other injuries causing harm, whether physical, mental, or aggrieved person. Again, a few repetition towards the previous points that have been discussed. And here, the other newer terminology that has been described in this act is the protection officer. Protection officer is being appointed by the state government, possibly a woman with an adequate qualification that has been prescribed by the state government. And the number of the protection officer in each district, again it is to the discretionary power of the state government, where there could be more amount or more than one person of a protection officer in a particular district, according to the case burden, or according to the case that has been reported in the past, wherein a state government can decide even more number of protection officers can be appointed. Here, the first and foremost duties of a protection officer is to receive a complaint of a domestic violences and to forward to the police officer in charge of the station of that local limit. And the second such functions or other duties of the protection officer is to assist the magistrate. Second, to make a domestic incident report. Third, to provide a legal aid. Legal aid, it means a free service that has been guaranteed under legal authority of law, where it gives a free advisory or providing a free legal aid to the aggrieved person. And the fourth role of a protection officer is to maintain list of all service providers. Service providers, it means that first and foremost is the shelter homes, second the medical care facilities and other NGOs who act on this cause. The protection officer should provide a detailed list, and even the counselors, the psychiatric persons who can even do a counseling to the aggrieved person. It includes all list of service providers to be maintained by the protection officer. Fifth is as an act or as a part of an act where as a part of an interim orders given by the magistrate relating to the monetary relief, or otherwise an order that has been passed in the final judgment, the remuneration or the monetary relief that has to be guaranteed to the aggrieved person, where the protection officer need to ensure whether those monetary relief that have been received to the aggrieved person or any other specifications that have been quoted in the part of the judgment. First and foremost is to receive a complaint from the aggrieved person, to forward to a police officer. Second, to assist the magistrate. Third, to prepare a domestic incident report. Fourth is to provide a legal aid. Fifth is to maintain all lists of service providers. And sixth is to ensure the orders relating to monetary benefits. And here, protection officer and the duties of a police officer and other service providers and the magistrate. And here, first and foremost role is to provide an information to the protection officer. Here, need not to be an aggrieved person. Any person in relation with an aggrieved person or even neighbors can give an information to the protection officer, or even can register a complaint regarding a domestic violence. And here, in order of a monetary relief, a custodial order or a residence order or a compensation order can be given by the magistrate in his part of his judgment. And the availability of services of the service providers, where presence of a shelter home, a temporary home for safety or for protection can be provided. And again, where the NGOs or the shelter homes, they take care of those issues. And the last point towards a right to free legal services, where as a part of a function of a protection officer, where he provides free legal advice services to the aggrieved person also. Shelter homes and the medical care facilities. And first and foremost, in charge of the shelter home, her duty is to provide a temporary shelter to the persons to protect herself as well as her rights and the liberty. And second such point, in charge of the medical care facility, to provide any medical aid to the person. here it could be a first aid as well as the complete treatment. And here, as guided by the protection officer, right? A protection officer orders this medical care facility to provide a service, and it is our duty to provide so. And here, as a part of an RMP, where when during a course of examination or during the course of history taking, when we notice or there been an allegation relating to domestic violence, even according to this act, even a medical care personnel can also be a complaint, and even a complaint directly to the protection officer regarding the present state of the aggrieved person. And here the act provides a complete legal authority to the protection officer to register from there, and he can proceed so. And here, othermost point relating to an RMP, where our duty is to provide a medical care facility, and it includes a part of a treatment as well as the psychological therapy to the aggrieved person. Penalty and punishments, where a punishable with an imprisonment either the description of the term, or which may extend to 1 year along with the fine of 20,000 rupees, or with the both. And in cases of where a protection officer failed to discharge his duty, again he can be prosecuted. Again, the imprisonment for a term of 1 year along with the may extend to 20,000 rupees fine, or with both of it. And summary of the presentation, we have discussed about what is aggrieved person, and in part of a child, where it includes male and female child less than 18 years of old, and even it includes foster stepchild as well as the adopted child. And the role of RMP during in providing medical care facility or in a first aid that has been discussed. And here in RMP can also be in a complaint against the domestic violence. And fourth, the role of a protection officer that has been discussed. Remembers at least some salient points relating to the protection officer, and role of magistrate in providing justice and providing monetary reliefs and compensation to the aggrieved person. Thank you so much for your patient listening. If there have been any doubt regarding the content, kindly address them in the comment section below, or otherwise address through any of the social media links provided in description section. Thank you.